This story is a work of fiction. All names, characters, and incidents are products of the author's imagination. Any resemblance to actual events or persons is entirely coincidental. A soft, elegant violin melody began to play. Zach Zimmer, looking somewhat resigned, held up the glowing tablet in his hands. I'm just saying, do we really have to read this manifesto every single time? I've already retired. This is basically an encore performance. Despite the complaint, Zach cleared his throat and recited the text on the screen. The system has 3 primal desires: transmigration, mission execution, and return. Among these, yes, executing missions earns points to sustain the basic needs of the transmigration lifestyle. Completing tasks with style earns points to exchange for essential items and rewards, inducing mental pleasure and satisfaction. He continued, furthermore, those with a specific obsession for the transmigration lifestyle who actively seek out missions are typically referred to as travelers. Manifesto read. Now I can get back to the real work. Zach tossed the tablet aside and squatted in front of the pitch-black sphere, floating in midair, tinkering with it obsessively. Man, it took forever to gather the trinity of tropes. This is going to be a first. No, hold it together, don't laugh. Zach stifled a giggle and summoned a holographic interface to monitor the events inside the black sphere. But before he could start enjoying the show, a wave of killing intent washed over him, sending a chill down his spine. Instinct took over before his conscious mind could react. The cosmic edge, a massive broadsword, materialized in his hand. He swung it behind his back, blocking an attack with a harsh clang of metal against metal. Oh, I didn't expect you to block my alloy darts. A figure materialized out of thin air behind Zach, holding a long, obsidian blade. Dude, seriously? Who are you? This is a private server. You can't just barge in without permission. Zach lowered the cosmic edge after deflecting the projectiles, letting the massive sword dissolve into motes of starlight. Only then did he turn to face the intruder. Whoa! Zach was momentarily stunned. The young man before him was tall and handsome, but the crimson aura of killing intent swirling around him was palpable, flowing like liquid fire. The most unsettling part was that despite his human appearance, Zach felt like he was standing before a massive, fleshy abomination. Countless spectral chains wrapped around the intruder, acting as seals to bind fleshy tentacles that seemed desperate to burst forth. Zach had the distinct impression that these chains were the only thing keeping this guy in human form. Then again, maybe the monster was his true form. Buddy, what is up with you? Are you human or a monster? You think you're in a position to ask that? Are you human or just some other freak? The intruder with the long blade saw Zach differently, too. To him, Zach looked human, but 12 massive chains pierced his back, extending all the way into the heavens where 12 distinct deities held the ends, tethering him to the cosmos. Cut the crap. If I wasn't human, would I be a ghost? So what are you doing here? I went through a lot of trouble to find a secluded spot for some entertainment. I came to kill, the stranger said simply, his grip tightening on his blade as he stared daggers at the black sphere behind Zach. Zach's heart skipped a beat. Is he here for me? He glanced back at the sphere. No way. Do these 3 idiots actually have a protector? Adopting a stance that said he wasn't looking for trouble, but wasn't afraid of it either, Zach stepped forward. Bro, really? For those 3? The intruder paused. Is this guy a tough nut to crack? No wonder my redemption system said this dark dimension was special. Is there a high-level admin guarding it? That's right. Just for those 3. So are we doing this? He sized Zach up. Zach was standing just 6 feet away, the first enemy to dare approach him so casually since he reached this level of power. Zach sighed internally but kept his cavalier attitude, lifting his chin. Try me. It was classic trash talk, meaningless but effective. You really leave me no choice. The intruder grinned. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Zach laughed too. They both knew there was only one way this would end. In the next instant, the cosmic edge materialized again, clashing violently with the intruder's blade. A sonic boom exploded outward as the shockwave of their collision shattered the air. They were locked in combat. You got some skill. Anyone else would have been sliced in half, weapon and all, the swordsman praised, even as space distorted behind him. 3 alloy darts shot out from different angles, aiming for Zach's vitals. Joe, sucker punch. Where's your honor, man? Zach parried the blade, dodged the darts with a fluid sidestep, and launched a flying kick. Interesting. A stock character who knows about honor. You remind me of a guy named Gray. The intruder noted with surprise. Who are you calling a stock character? You're the one acting like a glitch. Zach was triggered by the term. He yelled back without thinking. I just wanted to satisfy my craving for some drama. So I found a deserted server to entertain myself. And you? You tear through space just to save them. Were those three king-tier cliches to you? Why fight so hard for them? What? Me? Save them? The intruder froze mid-motion, looking like he'd just heard the funniest joke in the universe. He didn't know whether to laugh or rage. The next second, he attacked with even more ferocity. You can insult me, but don't slander me. I thought you had honor, but you're using psychological warfare. You really are a vicious NPC. Holy crap, you started the name calling. Wait, why am I wasting breath on you? Eat steel. Zack swung his sword, realizing something mid-strike. The intruder seemed to realize it too. The blades halted in midair. Both men stopped attacking simultaneously, withdrew their weapons, and stood back to assess each other. Just to clarify my internal monologue, you didn't bring them here to protect them, did you? Zack's mind cleared instantly. He dismissed his sword. So, you didn't come here to kill me to save them? Silence fell between them. After a moment of awkwardness, they both lunged forward, not to fight, but to clasp hands in a test of strength, locking fingers. Damn it, why didn't you say so sooner? I almost chopped you up thinking you were one of those bad tropes. Why don't you rewind the tape? Your first words were, I came to kill. That was self-defense. And don't call me an NPC. If you said you were hunting them, I would have rolled out the red carpet. Neither man was willing to yield, gripping the other's hand and trying to force him to the ground. But both possessed god-tier strength. As they struggled, the ground beneath them began to crack and collapse. Bro, stop. If we keep this up, my secret hideout is going to crash, Zack suggested, watching the terrain crumble. You let go first, the intruder insisted warily. You first. No, you. Okay. On 3, we both let go. Otherwise, the server crashes. Phoenix. You count. 1, 2, 3. They released their grip simultaneously and took 3 steps back. So, what's your handle, bro? Zack asked, now sure this guy wasn't an enemy. Name's Julian. Julian Knight. Julian was intrigued. It was rare to find someone across the multiverse who could match him. You? Holy. Jules. How did you end up here? Zack was floored. Jules. Julian was speechless. Was he that old? Well, counting his dozen incarnations, maybe he was. Wait, I only go back to reality for a few days between jumps. How am I, Jules? And you haven't told me your name. Julian snapped. Get a rest, Jules. You're basically a millennial body housing a soul that's thousands of years old. Calling you old Jules isn't a stretch. Oh, right, I'm Zack. Okay, Zack, can you explain why you dragged those 3 into this pitch-black simulation? You've wasted nearly 3,000 words of exposition without getting to the main point. Julian crossed his arms. Zack didn't get mad. He just grinned mischievously. It's the new year. I wanted some entertainment. You know how it is. A fun seeker gets jittery if he doesn't watch some drama. What kind of drama? Julian was interested. After traversing so many worlds, he needed entertainment too, especially if it involved messing with stock characters. Usually, I deal with these cliches one-on-one, but I had a brainstorm. What if I put all the worst archetypes together and let their plot armor clash? What happens then? Zack pointed at the sphere. Look, Jules, usually we get the short stories where the girlfriend leaves the wedding because her childhood friend called, or the cheating wife blatantly favors the intern. So, I grabbed the 3 worst offenders, Chloe, the toxic CEO, Nathan, the doormat husband, and Tyler, the homewrecker, and threw them into one world to see what kind of chemical reaction we get. Damn, you're running a toxicity simulation? Julian laughed. I have to admit, that's a solid concept, right? Imagine the chaos if the gaslighting wife, the simp, and the home-wrecking pick-me guy are all archetypes. I can't even imagine. Holy crap. Zack looked at the sphere and let out a high-pitched screech. What happened? Julian was startled. Zack pointed at the fracturing simulation. Bro, look what you did. My script. It shattered because of our fight. So what? It won't stop them from destroying each other. You don't get it. If I don't feed them a narrative they're used to, it's just watching random NPCs bite each other. It's boring. I spent so long coding the logic for this world. Zack clutched his head in agony. So fix it, Julian said. Fix it how? Zack shot back. You're asking me? Just rewrite the plot setup. Julian shook his head at Zack's despair. Phoenix, I can't help myself. I have a bit of a literary background. I'll help you patch the script. Deal. Otherwise, it'll take me forever. Zack immediately stopped acting distressed and shared the admin privileges with Julian. Be honest. You were waiting for me to offer, weren't you? No way, Jules. Besides, isn't writing the script while watching the drama half the fun? Zach began typing on the holographic keyboard. Julian watched Zach work and sighed. I admire your imagination. Kidnapping the trinity of tropes, Chloe, Nathan, and Tyler. Well, my redemption system warned me. I thought they were teaming up for a final boss fight. I didn't expect this. It has to be the originals for maximum effect. Here, check this out. Zach dropped a chunk of code into the sphere and pulled up the viewer. Julian summoned a lawn chair and sat next to Zach to watch. Inside the simulation. Nathan, can you stop being so petty? Just because I gave my share of the family assets to Tyler, you're targeting him. You used to be better than this. In a high-rise CEO office, Chloe Adler pinched the bridge of her nose, looking exhausted. She tossed her husband's resignation letter aside. I told you, I only gave him my share. I didn't touch yours. What are you complaining about? Do you realize that by giving him your assets, including your controlling stake, you've handed him the company? He controls everything now. Nathan Black spoke with an eerie calmness, devoid of his usual anger. So you're threatening me with resignation over this? Trying to embarrass me? Chloe's face flushed with anger. I gave him everything, but I'm still your wife. What more do you want? I don't want anything. I'm just tired. I want to live my own life. Nathan stared at the resignation letter and pushed it back toward her. Sign it. Let me go. We aren't legally married yet anyway. It's better for everyone. Enough. Stop playing hard to get. Chloe shrieked, tearing the paper to shreds and throwing the confetti in Nathan's face. Know your limits. I have a heavy workload, and I have to carve out time to deal with your little temper tantrum. Have you considered my feelings? She slammed her hand on the desk. If there was anything going on between me and Tyler, would I still acknowledge you as my husband? Before Nathan could speak, the office door opened. A greasy, overly delicate young man walked in holding a coffee. Chloe, you must be tired. I made fresh coffee. Despite being 6 feet tall, Tyler Green spoke with a fragile, soft voice. He froze, looking awkwardly at the furious Chloe. Did I do something wrong again? Did I upset Mr. Black? I'm sorry. I'll go reflect on my actions. Tyler's eyes reddened instantly. His hand slipped, dropping the mug. It shattered, and a shard conveniently nicked his finger. He cried out. Chloe's expression shifted from rage to panic instantly. She rushed him. Tyler, I told you to let the assistants handle this. You're supposed to be learning management, not doing manual labor. Chloe grabbed his bleeding finger and, without hesitation, put it in her mouth to soothe the wound. Chloe, I just didn't want you to overwork yourself. Don't worry, I'll study hard. Tyler swayed dramatically. Tyler? What's wrong? Chloe caught him, letting him lean heavily against her. Nothing. I think I caught a cold last night. Just a bit dizzy. Leaning on her, Tyler shot a smug, provocative glare at Nathan over her shoulder. That's it. Nathan, if you don't want to work, go home. I'm taking Tyler to the hospital. Starting today, I'm freezing your bank cards. You can stay home and reflect on your jealousy since you can't go anywhere else. Without waiting for a response, Chloe helped Tyler out of the room. Nathan watched them leave and let out a cold chuckle before walking out himself. Outside. Julian read the script Zach wrote. If he didn't know who these three were, he might have punched Zach. Ha ha ha. Jules, did you see Nathan's reaction? Classic. That indifferent smirk hits different when it's the original actor. Zach laughed shamelessly. I don't get it. How is this different from regular trashy novels? Is this your fetish? Julian regretted agreeing so quickly. No, Jules, you're missing the point. In this simulation, they are all lucid, meaning they know they're travelers. In that scene, each of them knew they had been forcibly transmigrated. The only thing they don't know is that the other two are also players. I told them, follow the script to survive. Zach grinned wickedly. As long as they play their roles and survive until the end to become the victor, they can leave the sphere with a reward. Julian cracked a smile. Okay, that is interesting. Right? To prevent glitches, I set this up in a sandbox. Hey, since you're here, why don't you write the next scene? Don't worry. Time is paused in there until we upload. Take your time. Aren't you worried about plot holes? Julian was tempted. He had never played director before. Why use logic for soap opera tropes? They can switch from, I'm leaving forever, to wait, I'll take a bullet for you in 2 seconds. If the bad writers can do it, so can we. Julian nodded. Fair point. He opened the interface and started typing. Inside the simulation, Nathan returned home and sat on the sofa, staring at the empty living room. Everywhere he looked, he saw memories of Chloe and Tyler. The potted plant by the TV, Chloe and Tyler planted it. The dinner plates? They bought them together. Even the dumplings on the counter were made by the two of them at lunch. Nathan realized there was no trace of him in this house. His slippers were just the ones too big for Tyler. His spare suits were tailored to Tyler's measurements. Even the wedding photo in the bedroom was a test shot of Tyler and Chloe because Tyler said it looked better than the official one. Nathan smirked coldly. He knew what he had to do. He packed his bags. Surprisingly, he had almost nothing. Just his work suit, the oversized slippers, and a spare toothbrush. He zipped the empty suitcase, laughed again, and headed for the door. Just then the lock clicked. Chloe entered, supporting a pale Tyler. She frowned at the suitcase. "Nathan, where are you going? I told you to stay home and reflect." Nathan didn't speak. He pulled the suitcase handle. Chloe got annoyed and grabbed the bag. It felt wrong, too light. She smirked mockingly. "Oh, playing hard to get again? Acting like you're leaving with an empty suitcase." Nathan stayed silent. He realized the bag wasn't even his. He let go, opened the door, and walked out. "Chloe, I feel dizzy again." Seeing Chloe about to chase Nathan, Tyler swayed and nearly fell. "Tyler!" Chloe abandoned Nathan to catch him. Tyler hugged her tight. "Chloe, does the promise you made at the hospital still stand?" His voice was husky and seductive, breathing hot air against her ear. She shivered, struggling briefly before melting into the hug. "Silly boy, of course it stands. But calm down. I'll cook for you. You haven't eaten all day." Chloe blushed, soothing him. Then she turned to the open door. "Nathan Black, if you leave, don't think about coming back. I won't give you a dime. I'll freeze everything. Let's see how long you last without me." But Nathan was already gone. Outside. "Whoa, Jules. You're even more cliché than I am." Zach shivered after reading the update. "Stop it. I'll hit you," Julian warned. "Ha. But I'm curious. What did Chloe promise Tyler?" "Can I say it? Why not? You know the misunderstanding twist. You make someone think something dirty happened, then reveal it was innocent, so the suspicious partner feels guilty and becomes a submissive doormat." Julian explained, uploading a new chunk of data. "Damn, that sounds familiar. It's Nathan's signature move. We have to give them scripts that fit their archetypes." Julian smiled knowingly. "Hold on, let me add a few lines." Zach added to the script. 6 months later, Tyler called Nathan's landlord, demanding to speak to him. Nathan, thinking it was a job interview, cleared his throat before taking the landline. "Hello. Nathan, finally. Don't hang up. Where have you been for 6 months? Chloe is going crazy looking for you." Tyler yelled, sounding desperate. "What does that have to do with me? I left to make room for you too." Nathan's voice was ice cold. "Is it Nathan? Let me talk to him." Nathan heard a scuffle, then Chloe's raspy voice. Where have you been? How could you abandon me? How could you be so cruel?" Even through the phone, her voice dripped with agony. "I just went back to being a stranger. Now you two can be together without guilt. Isn't that nice?" Nathan said. "Or do you prefer having an audience for your romance?" What are you saying?" Chloe stammered, sounding incredibly wronged. Tyler grabbed the phone back. "Nathan, are you a man? Do you have any idea what Chloe sacrificed for you? For this family?" Outside. Blah. Julian and Zach were on the floor, clutching their stomachs. "Oh my God. I've had high blood pressure reading these stories for years, but I never realized writing them was this funny." Julian wheezed. "Help. My lungs hurt." Ha. Jules, remember, they're lucid. They know they're transmigrators, but are forced to say these lines. It must be killing them. Zach rolled on the floor. "So, you planned this scene from the start?" Zach asked, wiping tears away. "Of course. The Trinity is famous for their signature moves. I just gave him a stage." "Well, my edition links perfectly. Keep watching." Inside, Nathan was confused. "What sacrifice? What are you talking about? Are you saying she gave the company to you for my sake?" Nathan laughed, his voice trembling with rage. "You really think her company is worth anything? Let me tell you the truth. The Adler family business was bankrupt. She didn't want you to inherit the debt, so she provoked you into leaving. Every time she got close to me to make you jealous, she cried her eyes out afterwards. Only my family could save hers, but my father demanded the company become a subsidiary of Green Corp." What? Nathan felt like he'd been struck by lightning. "She knew you wanted to start your own business. She planned to sell the equity and run away with you to start fresh. But you abandoned her when she needed you most. Do you know how she's lived these past 6 months?" Nathan learned that Chloe had spent every day drinking, crying his name until she passed out. Once, when Tyler tried to take her to the hospital, she smashed a bottle over his head, screaming, "Get out. I won't let another man touch me." Nathan would be sad. Hearing this, Nathan felt a sense of absurdity. So, he was wrong to hate her? When he was jealous, she was actually sacrificing everything for his dignity. "Nathan, I know it's too late, but I was wrong. Please, give me one more chance." I promise I'll be a good wife. You want a public announcement? A wedding at the Cloudtop Hotel? Anything. Chloe's voice was humble, begging. I don't know. Nathan paused. I need time to process this. I can't come back yet. Why? Is my apology not enough? I'll give you everything. I just want you. Chloe begged. No. Chloe, I can't. Nathan was trembling now. I will come find you eventually. Just wait. Then tell me where you are. I'll come to you. Nathan went silent. According to his experience, everything was wrong. Zach was right. Nathan knew he was in a story he once wrote. That's why he left so easily earlier. He was waiting for the dog-eat-dog phase where Chloe and Tyler turn on each other. In his original script, Chloe was supposed to realize she loved him only after he left, then stab Tyler and fall down the stairs. Nathan would then inherit everything and feel endless emptiness. That emptiness was his victory condition. As long as he hadn't felt the emptiness, he was invincible. But now, the plot was diverting. Ha ha, the classic emptiness ending. Nice one, Zach. Keeping the truth hidden until now. Julian applauded. If we just ended it there, we'd be writing trash ourselves. We have to twist the knife. Zach grinned. Wait, let me cook. I have a darker idea. Julian took over the console. Inside, Chloe was frantic. She was also lucid, playing out a script she thought she wrote. But her script was slightly different from Nathan's. In her story, Nathan was supposed to break down hearing her cry, tell her not to die, and rush back. Only by getting him back could she survive the death event, where Tyler tries to stab her, but Nathan takes the blade. Then she sends Tyler to jail and lives as a wealthy widow. Why isn't he coming back? She muttered. That deadbeat. He's supposed to take the knife from me. That's his only value. Chloe, look at him. Still giving you attitude. Tyler tried to stir the pot, but he sensed something wrong too. He was the third author. In his version, Nathan leaves because he has a terminal illness. Chloe sells the company to pay for his treatment. Nathan dies, Chloe dies of grief, and Tyler inherits everything as the loyal friend. The trigger for his victory was accusing Nathan of not understanding Chloe's sacrifice. He had triggered it early to force the Nathan has cancer plotline. But Nathan sounded healthy. Tyler decided to gamble. He would force the tragedy. Outside. Hey, Jules, 10,000 words, and you say we're just starting? Zach grumbled. Is it too long? No such thing. When they see the ending, they'll scroll back up to reread the clues. Julian laughed. Remember, the 4 Heavenly Kings actually have 5 members. It's common knowledge. You mean, the Trinity has a 4th member. Inside. Over the next few days, Chloe bombed Nathan's phone with texts. I love you. I'll do anything. Nathan threw his phone on the bed. Then go die. If you love me so much, take that homewrecker and drive off a cliff. The phone buzzed again. Nathan, I might not have much time left. Sorry for bothering you. I won't anymore. Nathan tried to ignore it, but his hand moved on its own. What do you mean? The doctor said. Stomach. Late stage. Nathan couldn't smile. This wasn't his script. Chloe was supposed to kill Tyler, not get cancer. This is a trap to get me back. But his hand typed, wait for me. You aren't allowed to die. I'll try. It's just a shame I'll never wear the wedding dress I ordered. Nathan watched in despair as his body betrayed him, buying a standing room train ticket with his last dollars. He didn't pack. He just handed the keys to the landlord. Moving out, Nate? Yeah. My fiancée is terminally ill. I have to see her. He looked at the landlord with desperate, pleading eyes. The landlord didn't notice. Okay, I'll keep the room for you. Nathan's last hope vanished. Outside. Brutal. Watching himself walk into the trap. Julian noted. That's the fun part. Just like how they made readers watch characters make stupid decisions. Payback time. Zach chuckled. Hold on. I have an idea for this section. Inside. When Nathan arrived at the hospital, he realized Chloe wasn't lying. She was skeletal, pale, dying. Tyler sat by the bed, looking haggard. Nathan, am I dreaming? Chloe whispered. No, I'm here. Nathan held her hand. Tyler stood up to give him space. You? Nathan looked heartbroken. Why are you so silly? Without you, I'm just a shell. Nathan, I wrote my will. Everything goes to you. It's my compensation. Chloe's eyes lit up, not just with love, but with a hidden, predatory excitement. She was like a vulture watching a meal walk into a trap. Nathan saw it, but he was trapped in the script. The narrative had shifted to her template. He was now just an NPC. Chloe, you'll be fine. He was forced to say, my body. I know. I just wish I could wear that dress. We'll do it. Now, I'll take you to City Hall. Nathan stood up like a puppet. Nathan, do you remember your vow? Chloe squeezed his hand. You said you wanted to be child-free. You said you'd get a vasectomy before we married. Of course. I'll book it now. Nathan smiled despairingly. His body walked out of the room on its own. He had lost all control. Outside. Holy crap, haha. Jules, you are ruthless. The cheating wife forces the simp to get snipped before she dies. Zach laughed. It's a staple in Chloe's stories. I just gave her what she wanted. But what about Tyler? In his stories, the third wheel usually gets away with the cash. Don't rush. It's not his turn yet. Nathan lay in the hospital bed, feeling the pain fade as the anesthesia wore off. He knew what it meant. He was no longer a whole man. Why? I created this story. I should be in control. He cried tears of humiliation. Usually, surgery is reversible, but Chloe had arranged for him to be sedated for 2 full days for recovery, missing the reversal window. When he woke up, he felt dead inside. Nathan, you're awake. Chloe was there in a wheelchair. I'm so sorry. I didn't know your constitution was so weak. If anything happened to you, I'd die. I'm Fine. Nathan touched her face, his body acting out the script. I'll arrange the wedding as soon as I'm discharged. Nathan. Chloe looked adoring. Outside, Tyler leaned against the wall. He smiled. It wasn't his exact script, but if Chloe died and Nathan followed her in grief, the result was the same. Don't laugh yet. I need to secure the cash and bail to win. The three of them maintained a delicate balance. Chloe followed doctor's orders. Nathan planned the wedding. Tyler played the helpful friend. But underneath, it was a minefield. Chloe was waiting for Tyler to stab her, so Nathan could block it. Nathan was waiting for Chloe to die. Tyler was waiting for a car accident or suicide pact. They were all waiting for the wedding banquet. They knew the climax would happen there. Outside, ready for the big scene, Julian checked the word count. 15,000 words. Let's serve the main course. Zach cracked his knuckles. Wait, I have an idea. Zach intercepted a floating butler that Julian almost summoned by accident. Careful with the spatial nodes. Inside, the wedding day arrived. It was lavish. Nathan spent 10% of the company's sale money on it. Congratulations to the couple. The MC shouted. The flower girl brought the rings. Please exchange rings. Chloe looked at Nathan with genuine emotion, despite the fake scenario. Nathan, I'm so happy. She put the ring on him. You are beautiful today, Nathan said, taking her ring. He moved to place it on her finger. Stop. I object. Tyler, suddenly wearing a groom's suit, ran onto the red carpet. Silence fell. Chloe and Nathan were shocked. It's happening. Nathan, you're only marrying her to spite me, right? I know you still love me. Please, come with me. Tyler looked at Nathan with teary, broken eyes. The crowd gasped. Chloe and Nathan froze. Me? Nathan pointed at himself. Chloe was confused. Isn't he supposed to steal me? Only Tyler understood. In his template, the groom usually leaves the bride for him. Then, he would drive a car and run them both over in a jealousy rage later. But since Chloe was the sick one this time, the roles swapped. He had to improvise. He would steal Nathan, then kill them both with the car later. Reject me. Rejection triggers the car crash. Tyler chanted internally. What are you saying? Chloe screamed. Tyler, this is my wedding. Nathan's hand shook. The ring dropped. Tyler, Chloe is right. Today is our day. Don't make a scene. Nathan turned away. Suddenly, Tyler gasped. I can't breathe. Nathan, help. He collapsed. Nathan instinctively rushed down, scooping Tyler up. He looked back at Chloe with a pained smile. Sorry, Chloe. Wedding is off. I have to take him to the hospital. His heart. Are you serious? You're leaving me for him. Chloe yelled. Don't be childish. I'll marry you later. I promise. Nathan carried Tyler out. 2 men in groom suits left the bride at the altar. Chloe stood alone in the wind. After a long silence, she picked up the microphone. Sorry, everyone. Wedding is canceled. The food is paid for, so please eat. She dragged her dress off the stage, not looking back. Outside. Blah. Julian and Zach were convulsing on the floor again. My stomach. Stop laughing. Zach pounded the floor. Man, writing this is better than any workout. Julian wiped his eyes. Okay, save a copy. I need to show the boys. Let's finish this. Inside, Chloe sat in the empty wedding house, wearing her muddy dress. It felt familiar. The decor, the memories. She was the outsider. Outside. Hey, no padding the word count. Julian laughed. It's all the callback. Zach retorted. Inside, Chloe checked her phone. Tyler had posted a friends-only update. As long as you're here, pay means nothing. The photo showed Nathan peeling an apple for Tyler in the hospital. They are insane. Chloe coughed blood. Why isn't my cancer getting better if the roles swapped? No, that deadbeat was supposed to block a knife for me, not peel apples for him. Her eyes went dark. If I can't live, you're coming with me. She grabbed her car keys. In the hospital, Tyler ate the apple slice from Nathan's hand before Nathan could eat it. You little rascal. Nathan booped his nose. Tyler's phone buzzed. Chloe liked the photo. Nathan felt a surge of rage programmed by the script. He called her, Chloe, stop stalking us. We are innocent. Just because Tyler cried doesn't mean we are doing anything. I'm taking him to the beach to recover. You stay home and reflect. Click. Chloe gripped the steering wheel until her knuckles turned white. That was MY line. Rage overwhelmed her. She floored the gas. You dare. I'll haunt you. In the VIP ward on the 17th floor, Nathan and Tyler heard a roar. The door exploded. A luxury car, driven by a manic Chloe, smashed into the room. You adulterers. She slammed the gas, pinning them against the floor-to-ceiling window. The glass shattered. The car, and the three of them, flew out into the void. Ha ha, E.T., you die. Chloe laughed as the airbag deployed. Falling through the air, Nathan hugged Tyler. Not out of love, but to use him as a cushion. Tyler clawed at Nathan, trying to climb on top of him to survive. To Chloe, it looked like a lover's embrace. Still holding each other? Go to hell. She floored the gas in midair. The engine roared uselessly. Boom. A fiery explosion ended the farce. No one asked how a car fit in a hallway. No one asked about the physics. The video went viral for a week, then vanished. Story complete. Outside. Holy crap. I can't take it anymore. Ha ha. Julian exploded with laughter after the final scene was uploaded to the sphere. My brain itches. I feel like I'm growing new brain cells. Ha ha ha. I never knew writing without logic was this exhilarating. Zach was also clutching his head, laughing uncontrollably. Just as they were losing their minds with mirth, a rift tore open in the sky of their dimension. A sky lantern, drifting along and spitting tongues of fire, floated toward them, cursing with a mouth that shouldn't exist. What the hell are you doing? Is this how you write a story? The critic screamed as it circled them. Where are the twists? Everyone just died. How are you supposed to disgust the readers with a depressing ending like that? Look at this trash. The male lead died? He should have survived to the end, wallowing in the endless emptiness of his absurd choices. That's how you get the readers to rage in the comments. Do you understand content creation? The critic continued to rant. And the female lead? What happened there? Why did she jump into the third wheel's role? She should have willingly become a doormat. She already gave away her fortune. That's giving it away for free. Free. Do you know what free means? You can't take payment for it. And the homewrecker? What was that? Objecting to the wedding to steal the groom? What are you doing? Can't you just let me watch a normal, toxic romance tragedy? The critic cursed relentlessly, unable to tolerate the chaos Zach and Julian had unleashed. It had burned all its energy just to cross dimensions to complain. One page. If we did that, it would just be standard stock character literature, Zach said, composing himself after his laughing fit. He stood up and addressed the floating lantern seriously. This is a special edition, understand? Custom made for you. Despite his serious tone, Zach couldn't stop the corner of his mouth from twitching. What are you laughing at? The critic was confused. It was scolding them. So why were they smiling? Did they lack the self-awareness of a creator? I just thought of something happy. I caught a big fish. But Julian couldn't hold it back either, covering his mouth as his shoulders shook. The mirth in his eyes was impossible to hide. What are you laughing at? The critic turned its lampshade toward Julian. I also caught a big fish. Julian managed to squeeze out. You caught the same fish. The critic rotated its body, seemingly looking back and forth between them. It's from the same river, Zach clarified, looking at Julian. Jules, what do you say? The hidden boss has appeared. The story should end now. Why don't we send a New Year's blessing to the readers reading this? Julian cracked his knuckles loudly. Right? Let's wish the readers. Zach's figure blurred. In an instant, his iron fist smashed into the critic's lampshade. May the old year go as wished, and the new year bring heart's desire. The critic was launched like a cannonball, flying straight toward Julian. 3 meals a day with fireworks, 4 seasons full of joy. Julian raised his hand and punched it back toward Zach. Morning brings a smile. Sunset brings gentleness. Turn the trivial into poetry. Brew the mundane into sweetness. Peace in spring and summer. Tranquility in autumn and winter. Reset your worries to 0. Fill your happiness to the max. May every year be joyful. May every outcome be a victory. Light in your eyes, love in your heart. Julian finished with a vicious uppercut, sending the critic soaring high into the air. Zach understood the assignment immediately, standing shoulder to shoulder with him. Side by side, they channeled their power, aiming at the falling lantern. They unleashed a dreamlike combination punch. Together, they shouted as they blasted the lantern back into the stratosphere. The immense force rampaged inside the critic, causing it to drag a long tail of flame as it ascended, finally exploding like a magnificent firework in the sky. Sail with passion, paddle with persistence. May everyone ride the wind and waves to reach their ideal distance. Part 2. Mandatory Separators.